Hey, so the question that I get asked the most on Reddit and on here on YouTube is, how do you change your beliefs? And I wanted to do just a quick, it's easier for me to just demonstrate using an example from my own life than it is to try to explain it. I don't know if this is everybody's way. It's really simple and easy for me since I fully accepted that my entire reality is being created by my beliefs, and that all of my beliefs are just things that I chose to accept as truth over the years, mainly as a child, teenager. Since I accepted that fully, it's become really easy for me to take something and say, this is giving me distress. This situation is causing me a lot of distress. It must be because I believe something that is incorrect. What's the belief and why is it wrong? That process has been pretty simple for me in a lot of areas. In one particular area, it has been just like a huge onion that I have to keep peeling the layers back from. And, you know, this is such a huge issue. I'm talking about my body image issues and my weight. The feelings that I have about my weight, the reactions that I have to fluctuations in my weight, that stuff. I weighed 190 for like 15 years. I lost all of the weight, got down to 115, and I've been fluctuating between 115 and 130 basically since lockdown happened in March, due to the unique circumstances, both in the outer world and mentally. And it's brought up a lot of stuff. And since, it's obviously been, it's probably the biggest psychological thing I have that needs to get worked out. All these situations presenting themselves this year have been really good. It's like I'm in school, and it keeps giving me more and more challenges so that I can keep peeling back the layers of that onion. And one of the biggest things that's happened with that this year was the manifestation of Matt, who is the guy I've been waiting for my whole life, basically. And he has done his part to really help me with this stuff. The part of the weight stuff that had to do with, can somebody love me like this? Am I good enough physically for somebody to want me? All that stuff. He has put that to bed forever. Even if he took off and he's not the right guy or something like that happened, I now know that the way I am right now is totally acceptable to a guy. There's at least one guy out there. There's got to be others. So that relieves that stress. And I don't think he's ever going to go anywhere anyway, because I'm pretty sure we're soulmates. But since that layer of the onion got peeled back, there's been more and more things. And my intention is to be totally, completely free of any weight-related issues. And so one of the most recent things that came up for me was, I realized that part of my torment with the weight is that this achievement sets me apart from others. The status, like my weight status, is exceptional, especially in the US. Most women in this country are, especially in my age range, are overweight or obese, the majority. I think it's something like 75%. As you get older, obviously people get fatter. And so I'm a standout in this area. And, I realize that this ego thing is a big part of the torment for me now when my weight fluctuates. And so having that realization, I'm like, okay, this is an ego thing. I want to be better than other people. Why? And it's been really interesting for me, whenever I can kind of come up with that, it always goes back to an incident where the need for that or the belief or something is formed, and I can figure out where it was. Just by sort of saying, okay, where did this come from, and clearing my mind. It'll just go there, like almost immediately. And especially when it gets specific like that, like this is an ego thing. At what point did I decide I need to be better than everyone else. And I can tell you the exact incident. It came to me almost immediately. When I was 27, I was in a shitty relationship, an abusive relationship, and in order to escape that situation, I ended up living at my mom's house, which was like my worst nightmare because the world in terms of living with your parents was a lot different 15 years ago than it is now. Like, that was not cool to be living with your parents at 27. And so I was living at my mom's. I already felt shitty about that. I already, I'm just like, what a loser. I'm at home, I'm in this relationship with this guy that treats me like shit, and we were living together, and I had to like escape that situation. And through that relationship, I went from weighing like 150 to 190 in a matter of months at the beginning of the relationship. And I was still not, I was still freaking out about that a couple of years later because weight's my thing. Weight's my big thing, relating to self-worth. So there was an incident. I was living at my mom's. My stepsister was also living there. She's about 5 years younger than me. And we were always friendly, but I was getting very annoyed with her. She never paid for anything. She was really messy and loud and obnoxious, and just, I was pretty tolerant about that. But things started to devolve. She started to, make comments about things about my pets that were living with me, that they were too messy, and I was just like, you gotta freaking be kidding me, like your shit's everywhere. It just turned into this thing, and we started getting into it, and by Christmas, this happened over like 3 months. By Christmas, we just absolutely hated each other. And on Christmas morning, my sister-in-law was over at my mom's, putting like a casserole in the oven or something. I walked through the kitchen where my stepsister was, and I said to my sister-in-law, oh wow, that looks really good, or something, some comment about the food. Walked out, and my stepsister said to my sister-in-law, who was like one of my closest friends, oh yeah, like she needs to be eating any of that. Some derogatory comment about my weight. And my sister-in-law like came directly to me and told me. And I remember, because my weight, because of the situation, I was in such a low point mentally with how I felt about myself. My sister-in-law told me that, and I just had like blinding rage at my stepsister. And I just thought, you know what? That's it. I'm going to get richer and better looking than every member of this family. Fuck everyone, especially her. That was like, I remember having this distinct, strong thought. I am going to get richer and better looking than everyone in this family. Now, whether or not I'm better looking than everyone in my family is subjective. However, I am richer than everybody. I've achieved that. Like, I did that over the 15 years after that. That was a driving force for me. That moment, that person saying that thing, I just snapped. I just said, that's it. That's it. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm going to be richer and better looking than everyone in this family. And I've repeated it to myself over the years. Like, I've said that to myself anytime a situation arose where it was appropriate to think that. I did. And I realized, I accomplished the business goals years ago. I was at the point where I was financially impressive years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And it's been now almost 3 years since I just completely blew everyone's mind with the body transformation. I mean, and when I say that, I had a street that I used to walk around for exercise. By the end of the summer, I did it so quickly and it was so dramatic that people were like running out of their houses when they saw me. Like 5 or 6 different people on this block came out and just said, what have you been doing? We've been watching you this summer and you look so different. How did you do this? What are you doing? Is it just from the walking? Like, I sort of got this ego stroke that I did better than everyone else. I got that a lot, like that I'm going to be richer and better looking, the energy behind that, the need to be impressive, whatever else is wrapped into that. I got that and I evolved beyond it, especially this year, as like the true nature of things and what's really important and what we're really trying to do here and what these outward things, like what we're really trying to get with these 3D things, has become obvious to me, that type of mentality isn't appropriate anymore. It doesn't fit with this situation. And so, you know, having this sort of flash understanding that a big part of my torment with my weight right now when it goes up and down, I mean, like, a couple of pounds was like really ruining my day this whole last few months. And earlier, especially during lockdown, when I first gained some weight back, I was just like, oh my God. Realizing that there's a big ego component of that is no longer appropriate was just like getting out of a prison cell. And then realizing where it came from and thinking about who I was at that time, where I was coming from, and how that belief got formed, or how that directive where I need to be better than you, stepsister, so you can go fuck yourself, like that, realizing where that feeling came from, and like, oh no, I gained back 5 pounds, now my stepsister is going to be able to make fun of me again. You know, there's that thing that's in there operating you. And for me, unpacking it and looking at it and saying, this isn't appropriate anymore, just sort of releases it. And then if I felt that familiar feeling of like panic over the next few days after this insight and thinking about it, I would just remember, and just kind of floats away. I'm not feeling it anymore. It's crazy. It's just gone. That aspect of this weight, overall weight issue, is gone. By the way, right when I lost all the weight, my stepsister gained like 60 pounds. I don't know. Thought that was kind of funny. But I don't wish her any harm. We've actually sort of repaired our relationship since then a little bit, or at least friendly again. I don't wish her any harm, but I just thought that was really, I lost all this weight and she gained like 60 pounds. I don't know. Karma? I don't know. But that's how I go about it. And I wish I could lay out a concise 1, 2, 3, 4 step process where you can do it. Maybe my explanation just now did that in a way, but that's how I realize that a belief is no longer appropriate and change it. I try to figure out where it came from. I realize that the belief was formed from a different mentality. I try to rationally understand that it doesn't have a place in my current situation, and I experience relief. It's just that it just works for me. So I don't know, maybe it'll work for you. I hope this helps somebody. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Have a great day.